Hey, hey, hey. Welcome back to another Bobby Pin's Artist Spotlight. As always, I am your host, Bobby Pin, and I love bringing you today's emerging artists, talent, creators, business people, so that you can meet them. So today we have filmmaker, musician, all around creative, The Great. He is going to talk to us about his newest project, Summertime Shy Volume 1. So really excited to get into that. So guys, as you all are filing in, please make sure if you're new here to go ahead and hit that follow button. Feel free to share this live with a friend right now, someone who needs to be inspired and encouraged to chase their dreams, someone who's an avid film watcher, etc. Please make sure you share that. And as always, if you see the buy a badge button at the bottom of your screen, please feel free to click that. Show your content creators some love. A like and a share are free and easy ways to show love. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and bring up The Great and get on into it. Again, while we're waiting for him to join us, guys, hit that share button right now. Share with a friend.
Yo, what's going on, Bobby?
Not too much, man. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Tell me a little bit about yourself. Give us a little brief bio, The Great.
So, I'm a serial entrepreneur. So I run 3 different businesses. So I'm actually in one of my businesses right now. I run a music studio, Fast Lane Studio. So that's where I'm at right now. And then I have a tax business as well. Had an excellent season, broke records. And fitness group 2 as well. So interactive fitness group. So we bridge. Our main mission is basically to bridge the gap between fun and fitness. So yeah, I'm an all-around business person. A college graduate, master's MBA, and conflict and negotiation. So, but I'm from the Chicago, West Side.
Okay. So you wear all the hats. I ain't even mad at that.
Thank you.
No problem. So we're here today to talk about Summertime Shy Volume 2. Now the way it's described to me,
Volume one.
Excuse me, Volume 1. The way it's described to me, it just says project. But I saw in your caption you said it's a movie and a music project. So what is Summertime Shy Volume 2? You tell us from your mouth.
Okay. So Summertime Shy Volume 1, just to kind of sum it up in a few words, it's a vibe. So outside of being a vibe, when you think about Chicago, a lot of people think about the plague, the violence, and different stuff like that. But my whole idea behind Summertime Shy was to kind of highlight the fun stuff, the beaches, yacht parties, the backyard barbecues, and pretty much everything, just like the real cultural stuff that's going on in Chicago outside of the violence aspect. So, and then what the project basically is a short film. It puts you in the mind of like maybe Beyonce's Lemonade, because it's a video album, or Jay-Z's well, I don't know this, what is it called? The Streets is Watching. So it's kind of in the same family. So it's like a video album, and then there's an actual soundtrack too as well that'll be coming out 4th of July weekend.
Okay, we got a lot going on there. So
yeah.
You said a music video album. So it's gonna be acting as opposed to like a documentary, or will there be real clips from history? Or
no. So if we get a second, I can play a little clip from the actual film so you kind of get a feel for it.
Hopefully it looks good. I don't want our viewers to tune out if
All
they
right,
can't
so
see it very well.
we ain't gonna show it. But basically, if you want to go, it's on YouTube, Summertime Shy Volume 1. But it's a video album, so it's acting, pretty much acting. But in the midst of it, it's like a video too, if that makes sense. So I like pretty much it's kind of a storyline, but it's intermissions with video.
Okay, so talk to me about the decision to take this approach. You compared it to Beyonce's Lemonade. Now, Beyonce can do things that other artists can't. So talk to me about your decision to follow in that footstep. What inspired you about that project?
Okay, so I would say my biggest inspiration would be pretty much to actually get it going, because I've been working on it for about, I would say pre-production was about a year, just kind of getting the thoughts together, the music and all the other stuff. And what really kind of gave me the push was my cousin passing or whatnot. He was slain from street violence, and his spirit was pretty much I consider myself a go-getter, but he was on another level as far as his energy and different stuff like that. So with that, it just kind of propelled me to really just get on top of it. And then I actually started filming. I would say July, like it happened so simultaneously. So July 13th last year, I think he got murdered. And July 19th, I was just like, you know what, I'm going to film right now. So I just went out to Vegas and started filming, you know. And then a year later, now we heard about the releases. So that's kind of like how I got into the project.
Okay, that's interesting. So you said you filmed in Las Vegas?
Yeah. So the opening scenes is actually in Las Vegas.
Okay, so I take it for it to make sense, there has to be a full sort of movie. I mean, excuse me, a theme.
Exactly.
So can you kind of maybe summarize the story? You said, is it just a summertime day in Chicago?
Okay, so basically, so the main character, which is Turtle in the movie, and that's like actually my nickname. A lot of people know me as Turtle and whatnot. But
wait, we got to stop right there real quick. Why is that your nickname?
Okay, so I was an athlete growing up, and I played football. And I would say about like when I was about 11 or 12, I was chubby, like really chubby, and I was really slow, and I moved really slow on the field too as well. So the team, like, they all decided to call me Turtle. And then it stuck with me throughout like all my grammar school years. Then I went to high school, and then maybe like pretty much all my peers and classmates, they were on my football team at grammar school, so they just kind of brought that name to high school. Then college, same thing. Like it just kind of spread like wildfire. So pretty much everybody refers to me as a Turtle.
Okay. Okay, sorry. I had to know the story behind that. So, okay, take us back to Turtle. Turtle, we're following a day in his life.
Okay. So back to like, okay, you said the theme of the film, I would say basically, well, the main character, he's in Las Vegas. He's from Chicago, but all his friends is calling him, trying to basically tune in and tell him that Chicago's back lit. You know, they basically just keep telling him, man, Chicago lit, you need to come home. And I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna come home. But so happened, what I did is took like my cousin's death and I made it in the film. Like, okay, that really was the reason why I came home. So I finally came home. So when I get home, all my friends and different things like that, they all want to connect with me. So we just do it. It shows me connected with like all my friends from the past or whatnot, and kind of catching up to what they've been on, and then kind of telling them what I've been doing out of town. And then they like, man, we got to put something together. Whereas like basically, like the whole thing is like the underlying message is I want to show the hustle side of Chicago, because Chicago, and you know, from the actual west side, like we're known for the hustle side of town. So we really like hustle. If you, and then comparison to like Harlem, I don't know if like in New York, it's like Harlem, the hustlers, Chicago, west side, the hustlers. So we kind of the hustlers. So I want to broadcast that. So pretty much I'm showing everybody's hustles. Like my friend, he owns a auto shop. And then I kind of talked to him. Then he telling me he got that going on. Then my other friend, he's a barber. He got that going on. Then other people into music. So I kind of broadcast actually what they got going on, but they are put into characters.
Okay. So that's awesome. So this is even bigger than you taking care of yourself, but
Exactly.
you're looking out for your homies, for the community, your tribe.
Exactly. And you know, just to kind of touch on the community side of things, you know, I have a charity organization as well, Everybody Eats Chicago. And, you know, I'm very passionate. I show that too as well in the film, me giving back. And it so happened like what I bought maybe like 25 pieces. And then I went out just, you know, I do it all the time, like all the time, really. I'm known for that too as well. And I got 25 pieces and just like, you know what, I'm going to just give them out, you know, give them out to anybody. Then I so happened to see some young children. They was doing fundraising for their dance group, gave them a bunch of pieces. So it's just like that, those type of things are touching. And I'm just so, you know, fortunate to be able to do that for people and stuff like that. So yeah, I'm big on the charity aspect too as well. And I'm looked at as a lot of, you know, I'm a nomadic spirit. So I'm a nomad. So okay. I'm always the person to go out and see like, hey, I'll run out first, like, hey y'all, come on, this over here. So I'm gonna go find a goal. And that's like kind of my personality as a whole.
Okay. Are you a Sagittarius?
Scorpio.
Okay.
Yeah. You're a Sagittarius?
No, I'm not. But when I think of Sagittarius, their sign is the centaur with the bow and arrow. They're typically, their personality types, they shoot the arrow and wherever it lands, they go like chase it. So yeah. That's what it kind of sounded like you were describing.
I got a couple great friends that I said I didn't ever look at it that way, but like even on with the car business, like car shop, he's a Sagittarius, and that's his personality as a whole. Like he's all like you can't really steer him from doing what he's doing at all. It's just like that don't work with him. Yeah, so that's cool.
If you're into it, I encourage you to look up your natal chart or your birth chart, and it'll tell you. Most people only know their sun sign, but we have more than our personality is more than just our sun sign.
Mm-hmm.
So you might have Sagittarius in your chart. Just the way you described it sounds very Sagittarius, but I also only thing I know about Scorpios is that they freaky, so I don't know.
When your birthday?
April 20th. I'm a Taurus.
You're a Taurus. Okay, young bull over there. Okay,
yeah.
Very well spoken. You don't shy away from confrontation either. I like that though.
Yes, for sure. And I'm a fan of your entrepreneurial spirit. So talk to me about that. Like you said, I definitely don't want to box Chicago in. I know amazing friends from there, different types of people. So I know Chicago is not a monolith. But you're right. When we think of Chicago, we probably do think of the more rougher areas and stories. So talk to me about your decision to not only go to college, but to get a professional degree and to own multiple businesses and nonprofits.
Okay, so like I said, since a child, I could think about a speech I did in church or whatnot, and I'm like, man, everybody saying what they want to do with their life, and I'm like, man, I just knew I was probably like 8 years old, like, man, I want to own something called KFI Incorporated, and that was just my name initials. Like, they what type of business? I was like, I don't know, but I know I just want to be a business person. So even from that point on, it's just kind of like it was always in me. And then being an athlete, you know, I was a star athlete, played 3 sports, football, wrestling, and track. So, and I always was a captain. I was always the team leader. So that I was always well-spoken, knew how to lead people or whatnot. So that kind of shaped it as well. And then coming from that aspect, I would say going to college, like in high school, you see people, some of your friends kind of transitioning to stop playing sports and going into streets. And it's real life stuff. And when you see them like transition into this stuff, you know, I got friends. I actually just put a post up today talking about one of my high school classmates who was a star athlete, but he kind of transitioned and got into the streets, and he was murdered too as well. So, and you know, this is like a real thing here. Like, whereas if you're not into sports or anything positive, from the hours like from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., which is the times like you going like most people got to be home by 9 p.m. But between 4 to 8. That's a lot of time to go do anything you want outside the streets with your friends. So that's what's really going on. Then you're saying it getting worse and worse as you got like junior year, senior year, when people actually start dropping out of high school. And I was just fortunate, like I said, to play sports. And that just was my outlet to kind of keep me out of like a lot of negative stuff. So from playing sports, I went to college, and I didn't have a plan because I thought I was going to make it at, you know, being a star athlete. But you know, another thing when reality and talent and reality cross paths, that's what a lot of young athletes go through as well. You know, because I was a coach too as well for Fosco Park. We had Dynasty too as well. We won 3 championships out of like 7 years. We going like, so that's on the west side too as well. We're a Dynasty, so 3 championships. We actually hold the Chicago championship for the Park District currently. So, and we looking to win again. So from like coaching, that kind of gave me a great spirit too as well. So there's so much I could talk about, like from coaching too as well. These kids, you know, a lot of them less fortunate, and you see it, and like a lot of it's a lot of stuff going on. They from the ghettos and stuff like that. Because I was Fosco is like on the west side, so you see them and they struggles and different things, and all they do have is football or just a conversation with me or just a conversation with their peers on the football field. They got to go back to their reality. So that was a big thing that kind of shaped my personality too as well. But coming from like that standpoint and going back into like the college aspect, that was I learned a lot in college too as well. I learned I think the most pivotal things I learned was culture, the diversity, and sacrifice. And if you went to college, I think everybody can relate because you know, me being from the west side and just coming across all different types of people it was people not just from Chicago, and it was people from like all over the world. We had international students from Nigeria. We had people from the south suburbs, other side of Chicago, from New York, California. So and in high school you boxed in. Only people I knew was people within my neighborhood or surrounding neighborhoods. And with college, that opened up my horizons.
Yeah. Well, I actually wanted to ask you that too. You mentioned being younger, growing up in church, which I'm sure also probably helped you make the decisions you've made. But you knew you wanted to be in business as a kid. How? How did you know that? What were you exposed to even know that that was a possibility? Because I feel like,
Okay,
to your point,
that's a great question, Bobby. That's a great question.
yeah, because to your point, it's about exposure. You can't know you want to do something unless you see it, which is why a lot of people from the hood want to be athletes or rappers, because that's what they see. So what did you see to make you be like, I could run a business, own a business?
I would see like, okay, so even with one of my big inspirations of actually being into entertainment, which is P. Diddy, it's just how he did entertainment. And I was like, man, I can, I can duplicate that, but in my
Yeah.
own style. So that was just kind of like at that age when I saw him doing what he was doing with Biggie and Mace, which is like that was just crazy then. But then he, kind of did it over and over. He kind of duplicated the process with, 30 years worth of artists.
Yeah.
So from just seeing that, I was like, man, I can do that one day. And then even then, my father too as well. He was into music too as well. So he managed some artists, local artists in Chicago. And my subconscious never kind of let that dawn on me that that's how.
Sorry about that, but welcome back to part 2. We're gonna pick up where we left off. If we can get the great back on, let's see if we can get him back. I really apologize. We had some technical difficulties. J Daylight Media, I'm so sorry, sis. We had some technical difficulties, but I'm back and I'm ready to resume. I see the great is back. Hey guys, for those of you just tuning in, we are revisiting a great conversation with the great. He's talking to us about his inspirations. Sorry about that.
No problem.
Both of you, Jennifer, I see, said no worries too. Thank you guys for your patience, man. Technology, you know how it go. Do you recall where you left off?
I think we were talking about my inspiration into like what kind of wanted me to get into business.
Yes, correct.
And I would say like I said, P. Diddy, and just seeing what he did within the industry, that was a big motivational piece. And actually sitting in my own household with my father actually working in the industry and having a local artist and having them like going to numerous shows and different things like that. I think that kind of shaped me to like having an understanding of what a business is or whatnot. Then I saw him get an LLC when I was maybe in high school still. I'm like, okay, that's cool. So like, okay, but usually when you see stuff, you as a youth or a child, you're naturally going to attract to it. Whether it's negative or positive, especially when it's within your household.
Yeah, no, that's big. I definitely wanted you to touch on that and the importance of allowing your kids to get a sense of what you do. Again, it's about exposure, knowing what options are available. So I love that. I love that you have an MBA. So what advice do you have? Because you took the school route, but Diddy, on the other hand, dropped out, and a lot of successful entrepreneurs did as well. So I guess what advice do you have for an aspiring entrepreneur who's watching you right now?
I would say just don't let nobody steer you away from your dreams or what you believe in. Just stay stern or firm on what you believe in, even as a youth or different things. Like that's the stuff I tell younger people. I actually teach entrepreneurship and to high school students, and there's a lot of different principles I like to tell them because it was perfect because it got me the opportunity to kind of get a hands-on experience and see what's out there to the streets, which is the like high school, college students are the culture pretty much. They kind of dictate a lot of the stuff that's what's cool or whatnot. So just kind of touch bases with those. I would just say stay true to yourself and stay true to what you believe in. And even if you go to college, like I completed college, my big thing was just like the culture, diversity, sacrifice that taught me those different things. You can learn that in different areas, but it's just in abundance in college. So even if you're in college, still do your entrepreneur stuff out. You got a lot of outlets. You got social media. We didn't have Twitter was just coming out when I was in college. You know what I'm saying? So that just shows you how far along we are. So we have so many different outlets whereas your college peers can be your customers too as well. So just have that mindset that and the young entrepreneurs always focus on the service, not the money. You know what I'm saying? Always provide a good service. Money always is gonna come and transcend. It transcends from good service, though. You always got to provide a good service.
That's good game right there. So, all right, back to the original topic at hand. Summertime Shy Volume 1 is out on Juneteenth.
Yes, exactly. Juneteenth.
Where can we tune in, watch it, and support you?
Okay, so it'll actually be on Fastlane Studios website. It'll be on YouTube. It'll be on Tidal, Spotify, pretty much any platform. You go Google Summertime Shy Volume 1, you'll be able to find it pretty much everywhere. So that's what it'll be at, like pretty much all those different platforms.
Make sure you guys tap in. A full length, what do you call it? A visual album? I think that's like the term that
Yeah, visual album, exactly, yeah.
That's so creative. Now talk to me. I'm sure you could not have done this by yourself. So how did you assemble your team? And I don't know if you want to give any shout outs or.
Okay, so not to kind of toot my own horn, I produced pretty much everything by myself.
Wow. Okay.
So it was like a one-man working show. You know what I'm saying? I kind of locked in, like I told you. You can ask some of my friends. They couldn't talk to me for a year straight. It was really on my heart because of my cousin. So it just like me, like I spent I run a business. I spent a lot of personal funds to produce this film because it was so heavy on like my heart and my spirit. So, and as far as it was me, man. I can't, actor, director, producer.
That's incredible. So make sure I'm following along. In college, did you study music?
Okay, so I got you guys.
I'm like, how are you wearing all of these hats? That's really what I'm trying to get to.
Okay, so in college, I actually studied sports administration. So that was kind of what got me into my fitness group, Telescope Fit. We actually got a lot of events, man. TelescopeFit.com, go if you're in Chicagoland area, you want interactive events, you want to mingle with some of the fit people in Chicago, TelescopeFit.com. Go check that out. But that was what I got my degree in, sports administration. And actually me and my peers, we created a group called Self-Made Enterprises. And that was like my first business on paper with me and some of my 4 roommates. So it was 4 of us, and we created Self-Made Enterprises. And our whole purpose or mission was to create events or like create events and platforms for our peers to broadcast their talents. So we did variety shows where we had like the Greeks come step and broadcast their talents. People that did music, they broadcast their talents. People that act, we had some of the local people that were aspiring to be hosts. They was hosting our events. DJs in the college, they was DJing. So it was pretty much from that point, the event planning side, it really kind of gave me my into that. And then seeing it, then we was booking a lot of local artists too as well. And one event that stood out, 2 events I'll touch on. Swag Fest, which was just like a pretty much a turning point within my life and everything, where we it was a lot of adversity that we faced because we decided to throw an event during the weekend. Everybody's supposed to go home for Thanksgiving or the week before, so everybody's like, nobody's not gonna come. But it was a sellout event. We sold over 500 tickets. It was the biggest event of the semester. The ballrooms were full, and we had pretty much used the idea of kind of creating a tribe community within the college, atmosphere where the Greeks and pretty much some of the other people that had talents, we all come together and create, a masterful event. And then what kind of got me into the other type of what you say, music and stuff like that, when we was booking artists. So we used to book I know we booked I did a tour, that's the other event. So we did what was it called? City Invasion. So we did City Invasion, interstate tours. Basically we came down to our college and brought 10 different artists from Chicago, and all of them was popping at the time, a lot of local artists, and they was popping, and we threw a concert at SIUC in Carbondale, which is my alma mater. Shout out to the Salukis. So we threw a big event down there. We brought all these different artists, and it was just kind of like Rockefeller. It was just so big, you know what I'm saying? We brought people from all over, and it just kind of created a way where we did it at U of I and all these different other local colleges within the Midwest, and it kind of started a kind of uproar where everybody was trying to do events my age. People was booking, local artists and different stuff. So it just kind of started a trend, started a major trend throughout, the Midwest. It started a major trend throughout the Midwest, and then I just saw it, and this was in, I was fresh out of college, and then I transitioned into doing those events in Chicago as well, where I threw masterful events where I was doing booking a lot of local, like big celebrities. So I was booking let's see, some of the people like Lil Durk. We booked him, Lil Durk, G Herbo. We booked him before. Who else? Tammy Rivera. Let's see. It was just like a lot of Joel Santana. That was like one of my standout events. That was like one of my idols growing up. So just to actually see him in person, actually to book him and have a couple words with him, that meant a lot to me as well. So, and just being around that culture, I just seen how much like music can shift culture and like in positive ways and negative ways. And it's the loudest voice. No matter what you try to do, the music is the culture. It's hard. You really can't change that. So I just feel like this is my way to kind of put my voice out there, because that's why I got the name The Great. I feel like I got a lot of great accolades, a lot of great stuff to put out there. So that's why I kind of came from the background of different things and coming to the forefront to be that, be that change, be that voice.
Okay. I actually was going to ask that, how you got The Great, because you said your nickname was Turtle.
Yeah. And that's like, okay, so that it came from our Twitter handle. So when I got on Twitter, that was on my, a long time ago, it was Turtle The Great, like D.A. Great.
Okay.
So I just kind of left the turtle out, and then he helped me, by the way. My friend, funny. Yeah, my boy Nah definitely helped a lot. He was a big help, big support. Nah Live Free actually was there through every step of the way during the project. So who actually helped? Nah definitely was there every step of the way. Outside of doing actually producing the actual content of the project, me. But actually, like kind of getting it done, he did a lot within actually getting it done.
Yeah. So how long did it take for you to produce, or I'm trying to even find the right word, but yeah, from start to finish, from the writing to the filming and actual completion to put it out? How long did it take you to complete Summertime Shy?
2 years.
Okay.
So this is pretty much Summertime Shy was a bridge. This is just like kind of a prelude to a full feature film that I'm actually getting ready about to drop, and that's called Sabbatical. So that's Sabbatical, and we'll talk about that on another time. But the viewers, listeners, just know Sabbatical is coming out. So Sabbatical, that's a full feature film that a lot of the characters that are in Summertime Shy are in Sabbatical, which is a full feature film, and I'm excited. That's pretty much where it started from. So this was 2016 when I was in I was living in New Orleans at the time, and I had left Chicago because Chicago was so fast paced, and I just had to get away. I just had to get away for a period of time, and I went on kind of a spiritual journey. So from that point, I just slowed down. I was reading books. I wasn't an avid reader like that. I started reading books. I started jogging on the lagoons, and I used to just go on Canal Street with my camera, Bourbon Street with my camera, just interviewing people, just networking. And I was just telling them I'm from Chicago. So that was like my sabbatical journey, and then I actually went to Atlanta from there, and I actually went from Atlanta to that to like a little time in Vegas. So I was going for maybe like almost 2 years out of Chicago, maybe about 2 years out of Chicago. And when I came back, I was just, a humble beast, just I was real humble still, but the beast aspect just kind of was out there. And then from that point, I wrote Sabbatical, and I saw like pretty much the pandemic happen, because I was in the production stages of Sabbatical, and the pandemic happened, and bringing the many people together was very hard, so we couldn't really shoot that. And then that stuff lightened up. I took it upon myself to kind of write a film within that, like in the time period. And I would say I started writing that in 2019. So I started writing so some sabbatical was done 2018. Like 2018, I was done with writing sabbatical, and I was just starting recording music. Like I was recording music. My first song recorded January 1st, 2018.
Wow.
Yeah, so from that point I started recording music, but I had just wrote a whole film, just just to get my name out there because I have a passion. I feel like it's great to put it into vision to show your story. So I wrote this sabbatical, and it's based on a lot of different stories I heard, some true events and different things like that. So that project came along, and we was in the production side in 2019. And then I think pretty much COVID outbreak came, then everything was just different. So I couldn't produce that film. In the midst of that, I wrote Summertime Shot Volume 1 because I was lonely that we didn't miss our summer because that's one of the best parts of living in Chicago is the summer in Chicago. So that was kind of my aspirations in 2019. So I wrote the script out, and then I just I had a bunch of songs recorded, and I kind of put them together to what fits Summertime Shot, what to tell the story. So out of all the songs, maybe 100 different songs, I kind of shaped the narrative of what would tell Summertime Shot story from Trent, but a wild transitioning from sabbatical. So as you can see, some of the footage is going to cross paths within the two films, and it's going to make a lot of sense for the viewers as well because it kind of really ties together pretty well. And kind of getting back to the point, in 2020, I was ready to do it, but I was just waiting to do it because COVID and different stuff like that. And finally, I just when my cousin passed, I was like, you know what? I'm filming now. Nobody's not gonna tell me stop filming. I'm gonna do it myself. I'm just gonna go out and do it. And then from July 19th, it was actually I left to go to Vegas on my father's birthday, July 19th, and I haven't stopped really focusing. I had to kind of slow down during tax season because that's a very important season. That's a business I've been running that for about 7 years now. So I had to really slow down and focus. And we have over 500 clients too as well. So I really had to focus on appealing to all my clients. So it was a little bit of break, and then I got right back into it, going into this, and then now we at the stages of post-production and interviewing with Bobby Penn.
That is so awesome, and I'm sure it's an advantage for you to have the business background as you become a music artist, because I feel like as a creative, I'll speak for myself, I have all the ideas in the world, and I have to work overtime on the execution because the strategy and all the planning that it takes to really execute it is not as fun as just making the art. So I feel like that's awesome. 2 years, that's a huge commitment, huge commitment. And to keep all those thoughts organized and to be able to execute, like you said, a project within a project is no easy feat. So I take my hat off to you, the great. You sound like you really earned that name.
Bobby, thank you.
So I did see a comment. My girl Jay Daylight Media bought a badge this time in the previous video. So I appreciate that, sis. I saw her mention that there's also an Atlanta screening. So I want to make sure we talk about that.
Okay, so we will be in Atlanta June 27th at Penthouse Nightclub in conjunction with Kenny Boom Entertainment. So we'll be out there, and they're going to probably play a few of my tracks and broadcast my film, clips of my film on a movie during that event. So yeah, I'm excited, and I think I have a couple of other different things going on in Atlanta too as well that weekend. So June 27th, I'll be out there networking, doing a few meet and greets, and then definitely got the event Sunday, June 27th, Penthouse, ATL. If it's up there, stuck there.
Period. So in other words, that means you need to tap in with the great and follow him right now. So where can we keep up with you online? What's your Instagram, your website, all of that?
Okay, so Fast Lane Studios. Okay, so that's fastlane.studio. You'll see a bunch of stuff to kind of keep up with me in the studio there. And you can, thanks, Money Matt. Thanks, appreciate that. But Fastlane Studios, and on Facebook, fan page, DA Great. Then you got Instagram, DAGR, the number 8, AT. And you got LinkedIn, The Great, Kelvin Ison. Go check them out. In all platforms, YouTube, DA Great. So The Great everywhere, man. You're going to see The Great That's what you do. Hashtag the great. Lives in the city, the hood mayor, you know. That's what I go by too. The lives in the city, the hood mayor.
Got it, got it. All right, so we had to get all the business out the way. Now I want to get in your business. Let's get to know you a little bit better.
Okay.
What is your favorite kind of food?
Okay, that's good. So I'm actually a vegan. So
Okay. Talk
I
to me
would
about that decision.
it came. I always try to discipline myself. So it came from disciplining myself. I did a 40-day fast 3 consecutive years, and then on the third year I was like, I'm gonna go organic, and I'm like, I really thought about it, like, what is organic, and I kind of pushed the envelope. I'm gonna go vegetarian. And then I was like my peers and different people was like, you gonna go vegetarian? You serious? And I'm like, yeah, I'm dead serious. So I just kind of went vegetarian, and I motivated a lot of like my family members, a lot of my friends, I maybe over 10, 15 people, to become vegan, vegetarian, or at least try for a year, a few months, different things, because that's what I would try to do, is show people like you can do it too. But my favorite meal, I would say, out of the vegan, I like black bean maduro. It's like a plantain-based meal where like plantain, they got sauce on it, they got brown rice. It's phenomenal. It's at a local Chicago restaurant called Handlebar, but it's the black bean maduro.
That sounds
And
yummy. Okay.
yeah, man, like yeah, it's dope. It's dope.
All right, all right. Vegan. I didn't expect you to say that. I gave it a try like 2 months ago. I did good until I had my first cheat meal, and I fell completely off the wagon.
Right, you
So
like,
I
oh
switched
nah,
vegan.
that's where everybody goes. Like even like one of my cousins, he's like, man, I'm just gonna try some chicken again. I'm like, you trying chicken? That's
I
hard.
should have
Like, I don't want
never
no more
touched
chicken.
it.
Man, that's why I never tried it, because I knew I probably don't want to go back.
Yes. All right. So talk to me about the last time you laughed so hard it was like you shed a tear. What was the joke, or if you could share it?
The last time I laughed so hard that that's a
I
good
mean, you don't
question.
literally have to cry, but you get what I
No,
mean.
no,
A
I'm
really
trying to think of
good
something that was
laugh.
just so funny. I would say last night at the Bucks game,
Okay.
I met a friend at the game. He just like like emotionally invested to the game, and me, we got this term that we gassing him up. So I start gassing him up, and I'm like, with my friend, like, watch I gas him up. I'm like, man, go crazy, and he's like, woo, and he kept doing it all night. So I was like, man, I'm gassing him up. So I think that was so funny, and the energy was crazy in the building last night. I actually drove to Milwaukee to check out the Bucks game.
Okay. That sounds, see, I'm glad I asked that. That sounds fun. Little random road trip.
Yeah, man, it was fun. We got that second half, but it was still fun.
Okay. Okay. Now, as a filmmaker, I need you to really explain your why also. What is your favorite movie of all time?
Okay, so I'm gonna say Blue Hill Avenue.
I'm not familiar. Tell
Okay,
me about
so
it.
it has the main character is his name's Tristan, and he's actually the main character in Jason's Lyric. I forget his name. I forget his name.
The light skinned
The
guy.
light skinned guy, yeah.
I don't know his name either, but I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, so he's the main character, and he's just the wittiness of him. It was unbelievable. His character, like, even started from the fact. Okay, so they found, as kids, they maybe like 10, 12.
Alan Payne is his name.
Okay, Alan Payne. Okay, yeah. Shout out to Alan Payne. Like, he's a great actor. I love him as an actor. But him in that film, just his wittiness and his courage. Yeah, my cousin is Alan Page. Yo, yeah, okay. But even his wittiness, just at a young age, say it was a robbery going on, and it was him and like 4 of his friends, and they had to run through I think a abandoned building to get away from him. But he turned around and grabbed the bag that they dropped, which had money and drugs in it. And then and it was just crazy. From that point, he just went on an escapade, and his friends became larger than life. And then, they turned the page where everybody was getting into it, everybody. And then at the end, he just comes up with the brilliant idea to the kingpin, which wanted to take him out. He just had tapes of him kind of confessing on himself. And he's like, I have a million of these in a million different spots. That's as soon as you do this, you make a decision. And it was like he just let him go and he got out the game. And it was just like you really don't see too many endings like that. So I think that like that movie and just his way of doing things, his wittiness, really attracted me to that film.
Do you feel like you kind of adopted maybe that mindset of, I don't know if accountability would be the right word, or learning the rules to break them, or some, I don't know. The point is, do you feel like you took the principles from that character and like applied them to your life?
I feel like so though, because at the end of the day, you really don't want to. The main thing is you don't want to burn bridges and different things like that. And I think he really showcased, like broadcast that phenomenal. And with that, I kind of adopted that same process and like nourishing relationships. And that was what he was known for, is nourishing relationships. Because even if somebody wanted to harm one of his friends, they knew like, man, Tristan is dope. So it's hard to do something because they got love for Tristan. Yeah. So I think in that character, I think I did, it kind of shaped me in a few different ways for sure.
That's what it sounds like. The networking, the community building, the looking out for your team. I hear it. So what was the name of the movie again? Blue
Hill Avenue.
Blue Hill Avenue. All right, I'm going to watch that this weekend.
Man, you don't like it. You like, man, it's exciting. It's so exciting. And even, okay, so another thing, okay, I forgot to mention. What is it called with the shorties? It's a Netflix series. But you got these athletes. What is it called? With the actor from The Wood. He's like the main character in that film too as well. What's his name? Let me think. That's a good question. But that's like pretty much I watched that season. Anytime All American. There you go, right there.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that. Like I stop what I'm doing to watch that. I'm not big into TV unless it's sports here and there. But I don't watch TV. But All American, I do definitely watch.
Okay, that's another thing I gotta watch. Is this your best friend in here? Because they know you very well.
That's my cousin.
Your cousin got your back.
yeah. Cousin.
So who's your favorite actor?
I would say my favorite actor would have to be Mekhi Phifer.
Ooh, why you pick him?
He bridged the gap between the grunchy street actors versus, he could play a polished role too as well. So him being able to bridge that gap between playing a paid in full role to even playing a clean cut role. Like I can't think of some of the other films, but some of his more current films where he's just playing more clean cut roles where it's like, okay, he can switch it up. And I forget. He got a lot of great films though. But Mekhi Phifer definitely.
Mekhi Phifer definitely defines a period, I feel like. Like the 90s,
even with 8 Mile, even him being able to play at 8 Mile, like he just killed that role.
Yeah. So if you had to pick between rapping and acting, do you have a preference?
At this point, it's equally yoked. That's why I decided to come out this way, because it's equally yoked. I love them both the same. I always aspired to be an actor because, it gives you a way to kind of attach to different personalities outside your own. And even in the class in college I took was a speech communication class where we had to actually act out a lot of different scenes. And me doing that class just changed my outlook on different things. And I was a communication minor. So those classes just opened like nonverbal communication, the small, I think it was small group communication, the acting class, we had to kind of make up scripts and then act them out, use characters within our class. Like, hey, you could be this. It was so fun. So I think just being able to act into different points. And then one project that stood out and which really kind of made me kind of like acting. And I'll tell you about the music too after this, but it was a portion where you had to take a event from your life and then speak on it like in different third part, like the parasite and the speak on it from the good person and the bad side. So I picked my high school graduation, which I was so late to, but I was like saying be late, talking from the person that was telling me to be late versus the rational person. So I had to act that out in front of the class.
So like the shoulder, the angel,
exactly.
the devil,
so
and shoulder.
So fun. So that was a great experience, and from that point, it just always was in the back of my mind. Like if I get the opportunity, you know, I would get into acting. And then, as far as the music in New Orleans, we used to freestyle on a daily basis every day. Me and my cousin, we used to be just by the lake freestyling, and then we started recording those freestyles and then making them to songs on the spot. So we just come up with concepts in the car driving, because I had family that was in Mississippi. So we'd just take road trips like, hey, let's go to this weekend. Let's do this. So I was in the South. So I was everywhere in the South, Mississippi, Alabama, Florida. I was just traveling all over the South when I was living down in Atlanta. So we'll go on these road trips, and then we'll just record the music and make songs. So I got so good at it where the concept would come. As soon as the beat come on, I like start the beat over. I'm going to go right in and make a concept and a song. So I did over 100 of those. And my phone reset. I lost all those 100 songs, and I got so emotionally drained about that music, you know, the losing that music, and it gave me an idea. Like, you know what? I think I should try to take this serious, because that emotional draining feeling, it just showed me I had a real passion for it, and then it's a good way to express yourself. So I think that's what really got me into music, is being able to express myself. But both of them, I have their equal stories. So I haven't decided which one. I love them both as the same right now.
I like asking that question because it's been cool to watch the evolution of hip hop. When we think of rappers turn actors, Will Smith was probably one of the first to do that successfully. Queen Latifah opened the doors for it. And then you fast forward and we look at somebody like Joey Badass, who, similar to you, actually wanted to be an actor first. Mm-hmm. And music kind of grabbed him in. But now we're watching him be a part of Emmy, you know, award-winning shows. Or Lil Dicky has a show coming out on FX, yeah, exactly, which already has a show with Donald Glover or Childish Gambino. So it's high time for us to go back. I feel like in the 90s, actors had to be good at everything. They had to be singers and whatever. So I think it's cool to watch it maybe flip-flop, where rappers have these other skills that they get to showcase. So I'm really looking forward to Summertime Shy. I know it's going to be lit. You're wearing all the hats and fulfilling your purposes. So I'm really excited to look forward to that. And I want to give our fans something before we leave. I always ask my music artists to do a little performance. So it's your call whether you want to do either a freestyle or something that's already written. But can you spit a little something for us?
Okay. In the streets, yeah, you know my name. It ring a bell. Got this sold up just like Stringer Bill. Got the pack in for the low, you better bring a skill. Sliding through the city streets, yeah, I know I'm well. So let's pull up in the fandom. In the city, yeah, nigga, this is my anthem. When I was a shorty, yeah, nigga, call me Hammer. Designer to the floor, nigga, looking like a scammer. Made a life shooting dice, nigga, was a gambler. Me and my niggas don't play around. I'll stop right there, though. But that's my song, Stringer Bell, like that's actually my one of my singles.
Man, make sure you guys tap in. We didn't even have a beat, and I was rocking to it. Like I could hear the beat just by how you was like flowing.
I appreciate that.
The great. I'm enjoying this conversation. I don't want to let you go, but I'm sure you got other things that you need to do. Is there anything else that you might want to leave us with? Maybe a word of encouragement, a product or a service you want us to check out? Whatever you want to leave us with, do your thing.
Okay. First and foremost, I just want to say, you know, go check out telescopefit.com, fastlane.studio. But outside of that, my message to that youth, that young shorty, that young lady, go out and hustle like every day. You know, grinding and getting to it is an everyday process. Nothing comes unless you put the work in. So I want to leave that message out to the youth that's in the room or wherever, you know, on the court. It's a daily grind because somebody out there trying to get better than you every day. So take that and run with it. You got to do this every day.
Get out there, get it on it, do it every day. You already know my motto, put yourself on, okay?
Exactly, put yourself on.
I want to take one more second and thank those who bought a badge. Daylight Media, make sure you tap in with her. Thank you so much for buying a badge. XI Magazine, thank you for buying a badge. And everybody who tuned in, thank you so much. Make sure you follow right now, The Great, DAGR, the number 8 AT. and check out all of his links, his products, his services, his nonprofit. This guy is doing amazing things. We got to support our Black
Thank you,
kings.
Bobby.
They're doing
Thank you,
positive stuff.
Bobby.
No doubt, man. So again, Summertime Shot Volume 1 is out on Juneteenth. Also on the 27th in Atlanta. There's a live screening.
Exactly. Yup. And then we in Miami the following week, 4th of July weekend. We in Miami, man. We filming too. Having a release party in Miami too, man. Get it to my man Miami Mozzie out there. We doing release party out there too as well.
Facts, man.
It's
so
up,
again, make sure you tap in right there. The great. I appreciate you, King. I'm gonna go ahead and let you go back to your day.
Lit is in the city, the hood, man. You already know, man. The great. Thank you, Bobby, for having me.
No doubt, man. Take care.
Right,
and again, those of y'all who are in here watching live, I appreciate you for tuning in. Please feel free to go ahead and hit that follow button if you do not already follow me. I do interviews like these often. In fact, I have 2 interviews coming this Sunday. So if you like emerging music artists, business owners, nonprofit leaders, community leaders, etc., I'm talking to them. We tap in. We don't only interview celebrities. We talk to you, the people who are putting in the work. So if you fit this bill, if you got something that you want to promote, you want to come on here and talk about your product, service, DM me. Why don't you do that? So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Also, if you have any aspirations of building your own media brand, maybe you want to start a podcast, a YouTube channel, or a blog, I actually have an online course that can help you do just that. Put yourself on academies, build a media brand. Online course is doing so well. I'm getting amazing reviews and feedback from my students. And yeah, I want to help put you on. So please make sure you check that out. Put yourself on academy.com. And until Sunday, I'll see you. Bye.